Hello, children. Welcome to another revision section for chapter number 4. Till now, we have revised chapter 1, 2, and 3, and I hope that you have understood it thoroughly. And I believe that you all are studying and learning it once again, reading the textbooks properly, along with all the question answers and as well as worksheet. For chapter 3 and 4, you have to concentrate more in the textual part, and means for book A as well as book B, as well as you have to read the textbook for all the chapters properly, along with this facts, then glossary part and everything. And especially book B also, all the question answers you have to read it properly. I hope that you are all doing well. So today is the last revision part for and our PA1 up till PA1 revision will be complete. The rest you have to study properly. Okay, so let's get started with chapter number 4 revision. Okay, so the name of the chapter was soil resources. So as we have learned in this chapter, so let us recap the topics, the points. The first we have learned seen about different types of soil. Okay, they are black soil, red soil, alluvial soil, laterite soil, desert soil, mountain soil. Okay, means as we have seen we have studied about those soil in detail about the types of soil. So what are soil? First of all, we have studied that. Means soil is kind of mineral. It is found everywhere, and it is a complex mixture of different components like pebbles, air and water, which when these three things combine together, it forms what? Soil. So it is essential for human beings, plants and animals. Okay, hence it is necessary to follow the conservation of soil, the method of the soil conservation. It is very much necessary to follow. And yes, so these were the highlights of the chapter, the 3 points. First, we have seen about the types of soil. Then we have seen what is soil erosion, how the soil erosion occurs. And third, we have seen the soil conservation. Yes, so let's look for it in short. So what are the types of soil? Okay, so first we have seen it is the most important and natural resource that is found in abundance in India. We can see the soil resources, natural resources in abundance, and there are various types of soil found in different parts of India. Which are they? So we have seen like black soil, then red soil, alluvial soil. So in the first day we have seen about these three types. So as black soil, we have seen that it is a type of soil, okay, which is black in color and it is rich in clay. Okay, this black soil is also known as what? So this thing you have to underline. Okay students, you have to underline this thing because it could be asked in 1 mark question also. What is the another name of black soil? So you have to write, you can write down easily. What is the other name? Black lava soil. So black soil is also known as black lava soil, and it is formed from what? Lava rocks. This soil is formed from lava rocks. Okay, and this type of soil is very fertile. As I have explained you when we were doing the chapter, the meaning of fertile means the soil is used for agricultural purpose. Okay, so that is why the soil is fertile, and it is mainly found in which area? Deccan Plateau and the regions covering what are the states? Maharashtra, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat. I told you that you have to memorize each and every states for each and every soil wherever they are located. You have to memorize every place, but as it will be asked as a kind of in a map or like that, then you have to locate the name of the soil to the perfect location wherever it is found. Suppose if the question is asked on all the soil, okay, you have to locate the 6 of the soil according to their location. Then what you have to do, you have to suppose take any one state from each soil. Means for black soil you can take Maharashtra, for red soil you can take Madhya Pradesh, for alluvial soil you can take Punjab, and for laterite soil you can take Karnataka, for desert soil you can take Rajasthan, and for mountain soil you can take Kerala. Means like this way you have to take different states from each soil. Then what you have to do, you have to locate that in the map. So means if black soil is, if you are selecting Maharashtra, then you have to locate this you have to write on the Maharashtra state black soil, like that you have to locate in the map. If you means for that you have to learn the political map of India properly. Means first of all you have to be thorough with the state wherever the all of the states are located, that you have to first learn properly, then only you have to locate it. Otherwise you will not be able to attempt that question if it asked in exam. Okay, so you have to locate this state, this name of the soil as according to the state. So you have to remember any one state from each soil, and every state should be different. That is only the thing is. Okay, so make sure you have to, but for learning purpose you have to learn every state, name of every state from each soil. But when it is asked in the map, then you have to select any one state from each soil. Every state should be different for each soil. Okay, so that's why I am saying it repeat, so that you might understand. I hope that you understood. Okay, now let's move on for the red soil. What is it? It is a type of soil which is not fertile. This is not used for agriculture purpose, but it is rich in iron. Okay, red soil is rich in iron content, or iron is kind of a mineral which you can see more in this kind of soil. And it is mainly found in which kind of states? Tamil Nadu, Karnataka, Madhya Pradesh, Maharashtra, Telangana, Andhra Pradesh. Okay, and this soil is best suited for what? Agricultural crops can be grown. Which are they? Like potatoes, groundnuts, millets, ragi, tobacco, wheat and maize. Okay, so that you have to read it properly 2-3 times. Okay, and third is alluvial soil. This is type of a fertile soil. It can be used for agriculture purpose, and it is mainly found in what? Northern and coastal plains, and it is located on Himalayan mountains and Deccan plateau. And the deposits of silt and sand, as you can see, this white particle, this is not silt. Okay, and its sand together forms this alluvial soil. And this type of soil is spread across UP, Uttar Pradesh, Bihar, Punjab, Haryana and parts of Gujarat. It is suitable for what? Cultivation of crops such as rice, maize, sugarcane, wheat, tobacco, pulses, groundnut and some vegetables. Okay, so this is what alluvial soil is. The fourth is laterite soil. So this type of soil is not fertile soil. Okay, it is not used for agriculture purpose, and it has mineral content such as aluminum and iron. It is rich in aluminum and iron, and bricks are made from this kind of soil. Means the bricks, they are baked from this laterite soil, and in this way they are used for the building construction. So the bricks that you can see for the building construction, those bricks are baked from this laterite soil. Okay, and these are found in states such as Karnataka, Kerala, Maharashtra, Odisha, West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, Assam and all. And crops like coffee, cashew nut, coconut can be cultivated in laterite soil. Okay, so this is what laterite soil is. Then the desert soil, as it can be found in the Rajasthan and Gujarat, it is the main states in which you can find the desert soil, and this type of soil is light brown in color. Okay, and desert soil are generally not fertile. They are also not used for agriculture purpose, but they are suitable for growing crops such as what? Millet, wheat, maize, pulses and barley. And mountain soil, this is the last kind of soil. Soil is rich in what? Humus, and they are dark brown or black in color. It is found in hilly areas such as Jammu and Kashmir and Himachal Pradesh. This soil is very found of, and it is suitable for growing what? Fruits, tropical fruits. Tropical means, you can see in the glossary part what is the meaning of that. Tropical, see, very hot and humid area. That is what tropical means. So for growing tropical fruits, saffron and tea. It is also found in hilly regions of Karnataka and Kerala, where tea, coffee and spices are cultivated. So this is what mountain soil is. And then we have seen about the soil erosion. What is soil erosion? So we have seen that soil is very important for what? Plants and human beings as well as for animals, as plants are dependent completely on soil. And the top layer of the soil is constantly threatened. Threatened means hurt by various factors. Okay, so as you can see in the picture how the soil erosion takes place. This is what soil erosion by wind it is called. This is soil erosion by water. So as you can see, it is given that you can read it out and you can understand properly. The first image shows the strong winds are blowing away the top layer of the soil. The second image, the strong waves washing away the top layer of the soil. Okay, see, it removes the top layer of the soil like this. Okay, in the picture as you can see. And depletion means it is exhausted. The top layer of the soil is exhausted due to water runoff, and is very common sight in hilly region. And this natural process of wearing away or removal of the top layer of soil due to various factors, which are the two factors that which this soil erosion takes place, that is wind and water. They are the two factors, okay, which is called soil erosion. And what are the reasons for soil erosion? There are, you can see, two kinds of reason. First is deforestation. It is occurred by cutting down of trees. Okay, and when trees are cut in large numbers, the soil which is underneath or below the ground, it becomes loose and easily blown away by strong winds and washed away by water. This is how soil erosion takes place when deforestation is done. And overgrazing means when the animals come and eat this grass, what happens? They lose. Okay, what happens? The grass also play an important role in holding the soil together. So as this grass holds the soil together, what happens? When they come and eat this grass, they also lose the connection with that soil, and it makes the soil loose, and in this way it is prone to soil erosion. Prone means it becomes the reason for soil erosion. Okay, so the upper layer of the soil is washed away or by the wind, or blows away by the wind and washed away by water. In this way, this makes the soil prone to erosion by overgrazing. And then we have seen regarding certain adverse effects of soil erosion. There are 3 points given that you have to memorize it. By soil erosion, it affects the crop production. Crop production becomes less, and it takes away the fertile layer of the soil. Means the soil which can be used for agriculture purpose, that will be lost, and making plants lose all the nutrients. So plants also lose the nutrients that they need for their growth by the soil erosion. And the third point is the constant removal of topsoil can have a negative effect on the fertility of the soil. So constant removal, the removal of topsoil can have what? It may have negative effect on what? The fertility of the soil. Okay. So this way soil erosion can lead to infertile lands. Okay, the lands become infertile, and microbes and small animals that live in soil also suffer due to soil erosion. Okay, for examples we can say burrows of rabbits, rats and snakes are destroyed due to erosion of the top layer of the soil. Okay, Then this facts, this you have to read it properly and memorize. 1.5 acres of forest is cut down every second in the world. It is estimated that within 100 years there will be no rainforests left. If they are cut down constantly, within 100 years there will be no rainforest that will be left on the earth. These things gives us an extra knowledge, so you have to read the fact properly. Okay, now the third topic that we have discussed in the chapter is regarding the soil conservation, how we can save the soil by soil erosion. This is what, so there are 4 kinds of method that can save the soil from soil erosion. That is, first is crop rotation, second is terrace farming, third is afforestation, and fourth is by building dams and embankments. So first we have seen how it can be saved by crop rotation. Means this method is growing the crops in a sequence on a piece of land. See, it is given by sequence the crops are grown. Okay, so by this maintaining this sequence on a piece of land when they are grown, that is what known as crop rotation. And it helps to maintain what? The soil, the fertility of the soil is maintained, and it gives, or it replenishes, or it renews the nutrients in the soil. The soil which has nutrients, that is renewed, and it reduces what? Pests and diseases in the crops. Means the insects which are present in the plants, they all will be get destroyed due to this method. And the presence of crops on the land throughout the year, when these crops are present on the piece of land for throughout the year, okay, that prevents what? Soil erosion. This way the crop rotation method is helpful. Second is terrace farming. So this method is growing the crops on hill slopes by creating stepped patches of land. Means in this way, as you can see clearly in the picture, when the crops are grown on hill slopes by this hilly area, like this hilly area which has a slope means like down, it goes from upwards to downwards, by creating what? In a step shaped format. Okay, in a step patches on the land for farming, it is known as, this way of growing crops is known as terrace farming. And these step patches slow down the speed of running water. It makes the flow of running water slow, and which minimizes the soil erosion. In which way? This way soil erosion can be prevented by terrace farming. The third is afforestation. See, this is also a very brilliant method for preventing the soil erosion. This method means the planting of trees on barren lands. Means, okay, I have already explained it while we were explaining the chapter. Barren land means from where the 1/4 of the part of the land is used for growing crops. That is what barren lands means. And as the trees are grown, their roots hold the soil firmly. So when the plants are grown in this type of land, they hold the soil tightly. Firmly means tightly, and it prevents the soil erosion. And this will be well known for the children. Okay, you all might be well known with this. When the plantation program is being held at your school, this would be really helpful for preventing the soil erosion. Okay, so in this way afforestation method is the perfect for preventing the soil erosion. The fourth is dams and embankments. How we can say? Because dams and embankments are specially built to control what? The flow of water. It can reduce the speed of the flow of water, and the soil erosion is minimized with the help of what? Such dams, as the flow of water means we can say the flow of water is released in a controlled manner. In dams and embankments, the flow of water can be controlled easily, and the flow is controlled. So in this way, as the flow of water becomes controlled, the soil erosion can be minimized. In other hands, when embankments hold water and do not allow the soil to erode. Okay, erode means, as I have already explained, erode means destroy, to destroy. That is what erode means. So as these embankments hold the water, means it controls the flow of water, it will not allow the soil to erode, or the soil erosion cannot be taken place. or it can be means we can control the soil erosion properly by building the dams and embankments. And later on, what happens, the water that remained after the storage, the stored water that are remained in the embankments is later used for what purpose? Irrigation purpose. So this is what we have seen regarding the conservation of soil. There we have learned about 4 kind of methods for conservation of soil. Then we have seen about what is soil erosion, the 2 factors or reasons about the soil erosion, and then we have seen the types of soil. Okay, so this is, and we have seen what is soil erosion, how we can prevent the soil from soil erosion. So this is what the entire chapter was. I hope that you understood it properly. And once again, as we have discussed, let us recap once again. So we have seen different types of soil: black soil, red soil, alluvial soil, laterite soil, desert soil, and mountain soil. And strong winds, heavy rains, flowing water, deforestation, and overgrazing are some of the factors that cause soil erosion that we have seen. And crop rotation, afforestation, terrace farming, construction of dams and embankments can help prevent the soil erosion. These are the 3 type of points, the main points that we have seen in the chapter. So I hope that you understood the chapter properly. Now you have to read the glossary part properly. You have to read the textbook. That is the main thing, foremost thing. Then you have to read the question answers, this letters try of book A properly, all the letters try, including true or false, fill-ups, everything. And also book B question answers also you have to read. And first of all, you have to complete in your notes, then you have to learn and study properly. So students, we have completed the entire syllabus up to PA1. We have completed the revision also in short. So I hope that you understood. Now you have to learn and study properly without any tension. You can read the textbooks. If you have any doubts, still any doubts in any of the chapter, you can contact me at any time. Okay, so then let's see you all after for the PA2. Okay, we will start the PA2 in this coming days. Okay, so in the next lecture. So I hope and hope you for the best of luck for you all. Study very well properly as we have completed the syllabus in the term 1 and PA1 and term 1. Study well, complete the notes, and I hope that you are all doing well, and stay safe and take care. Okay, so that's all for today. See you in the next lecture. Take care and bye.